iPod, it's so tricky because you have so much music on there that you kind of like forget what you even have. You know what I mean? You kind of, like, I mean, you could have something in there and never listen to it. So I think it's important to like make sure you find songs you don't know, because there's nothing like. Don't get me wrong, I love my old favorite songs and nostalgic stuff, but there's nothing like getting into something for the first time. It doesn't have to be a new record either. I mean, like, I recently bought like one of the old the Birds records, you know, and like I had never listened to that particular record, and I listened to it a lot, you know. So I think the beauty of music is it's always going to be out there, you know. You can listen to it anytime. So.
And then Jamie Ray wants to know, what was the last book that you read?
The last book that I read, it's called Bound for Glory. It's an autobiography written by Woody Guthrie, who is a great American songwriter. He's from Oklahoma, and he came out of like the Depression era, like the Oklahoma Dust Bowl. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie The Grapes of Wrath. They show it in school sometimes. He kind of came out of that, and he was a hobo. You know, he rode in freight trains with people who wrote songs and traveled the country over and over again, and lived one of the most inspiring lives, you know, that you could ever wish to live. You know, and, I definitely find a lot of inspiration in him. So reading his book was great. It's a cool portrait of America at a different phase, and a different place in time, I guess. You know, it seems pretty far off from like now, you know, but I would love to, you know, hop on the freight train and go see that country for this.
And then, what goes to your mind when you're on stage?
Kind of weird. Like, I feel like the more you think about the song, the more likely you are to screw up. Like, sometimes, like, we'll be playing a song and, like, I'll be thinking about, like, cheeseburgers, and then, like, the song will be, like, over. And I'll be like, what was it? It was, like, somewhere else, you know? And I was still moving around having fun, but, like, up here, there was just, like, I was thinking about, like, some episode of The Simpsons, or, like, thinking about skydiving, or who knows what I was thinking about, but, like, sometimes the song will be over and I'll be like, I just played the whole thing without, like,
thinking about it?
Like, it's weird. I think that's, like, part of the beauty of the whole thing is, like, once you've done it for so long, it starts to become, like, autopilot, you know? I mean, sometimes a whole show will go by where I'm like, really? Like, I don't even replayed that song, you know, like, which is cool, you know? Other nights, you know, like, I'm 100% in the zone with the music, you know, but it just kind of varies, you know. Sometimes I'm thinking about I Love Lucy or something.
Amy wants to know, what's the worst date you've ever been on?
The worst date?
Mm-hmm.
When I was in, like, I never did any dating, like, in high school or junior high or anything. But, like, I mean, I always liked girls, you know, but, I think it's kind of outrageous to date before you're out of high school, you know, just because it's, in my opinion, just a waste of time. But not to say that other people shouldn't, but for me, I just never found it interesting. I think that when you're young, it's like you gotta be yourself and kind of explore, and then later on in life, that's when you know what you want. But I did go on a date once with this girl, Catherine Hyde, and she had like asked me out on a date, you know, what am I going to do, say no, you know. So we went out, and I went out with her and like her mom and her little brother or something, and I knocked over my Coke and it spilled all over her mom. So that was pretty good. And then I think we went and saw like the Fast and the Furious or something, and yeah, that was weird. I would call it the worst date, you know, things happen.
Yeah.
I also didn't go on too many dates, so. But I wasn't one of those people that, you know, I remember being like 4th, 5th grade, like having a girlfriend or boyfriend on my hands. It always sounded good, but like it was kind of above me, I think.
And then Chrissy wants to know if you remember the SLH scrapbook.
Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't tell you which one, because we've gotten a couple of different ones from SLH members, but there's definitely several that I remember. And stuff like that's really exciting, especially since like we tour so much that sometimes we'll even forget about certain moments that we had or people we met, you know. So when we get something like that, it's like it's cool seeing these pictures that were taken like 5 years ago. Like I was like 16 out back of like Slim's here in San Francisco or something. You know, like you kind of forget about those things. So it's cool to like have someone show that not only do they care, but you know, to put it down in a book. And my mom, like anything I get from fans onto her, like my mom just completely like steals when I get home. And, like she has like, a big box up in the attic and like full of all the stuff. So.
And then Tabby wants to know about the letters that you guys got during the Bogus Journey tour. If you still have them and figured out what they spell out.
I never figured it out. That whole thing, like I was like kind of blown away by it because like I'm the kind of guy that like I'm a very right now kind of guy. So to get a letter every day was almost like getting a migraine. You know?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure William though like took it real seriously and like I should ask him what it meant. I think we did. I just can't remember offhand, but it did spell something out. We should ask William. He's somewhere around. But that was cool. Like I said, you know, any of this stuff, like as much as I couldn't quite comprehend the whole thing, like I'm always appreciative of like all the fun stuff, you know, because sometimes on tour we're just sitting around kind of bored, so it's nice to like, you know, feel like we're coming to a city and we have like a family or like a community that come out to see us every time, you know. Actually, me and Jack just went to the Golden Gate Bridge, and when we just got back, you know, like we came by the line, and this woman, I can't remember her name, this woman ran up, and she's the craziest, like, most fun-spirited woman. And she came up and, you know, was talking to me and Jack, and like we this morning, like I didn't even think she would be here. I kind of forget those things. And then she comes up and says hi, and we're like, wow, you know, like we remember you, and that's part of the fun. You know? It's nice to have friends all over the world.
Yeah.
Even if they're friends that you may have forgotten their name, or you know, because we're kind of bad with stuff like that sometimes. But we just appreciate, you know, all the fun stuff that we get to do.